Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Capital A Trading. It's going to be that video where I review what I've mentioned on Sunday, just showing you how the trades have performed throughout the week, how you could have maybe caught some profits and what you could have done to actually trade it. A quick shout out to the Absolutely magazine. Thank you for sponsoring me on my videos. Thank you for everything you have done for me. To everybody that's there, thank you for everything, guys. Go check out this magazine. There's two types. There's a Kensington and Chelsea version. There's a Kingston version as well. Sorry, in Kingston. And I'm on page 95. You can actually check out my article in there. And I'd appreciate that if you check that out. Thank you to Absolutely magazine once again. With that being said, and now out the way, let's get straight into the charts for this week. Okay, guys, so I'm going to start the video the way that I started the weekend's video by analyzing gold and just taking a look at everything I said. I started off with gold pound, so I'm just going to quickly move to gold pound. I started off on gold pound. I mentioned this 1300 to the 1280 level. I've spoke about this daily swing, this daily picture, and as you can see now, price coming towards Thursday. So obviously I mentioned this on Sunday. We're now on Thursday, and price is starting to make a move away from that area. So straight away, you'd start to see some profits now within 4 days. If I move to the gold euro, again, very similar picture. I was mentioning around this 1480 to the 1500 mark. And again, similar picture to what we just saw on gold pound. It's starting to move away from that area. What I mentioned, if you watched that weekend video, was the gold USD. So the main one that I wanted you to trade, the main one that I wanted you to focus on was this one. Now, what happened was everything was meeting my criteria. Everything was happening the way I wanted to see it happen. Price had come to my daily swing where I've highlighted this yellow candle. It's tapped off the base of this candle, as you can see where price has met here, and it started to struggle. If I come down to a 4-hour time frame, you'll start to see that the push has been quite successful from this area. I have been banging on about the 1800, 1780 mark. And eventually now, like the gold euro, gold pound, we're starting to see that strength come against the gold. So the US dollar is actually getting stronger right now against gold. I'm expecting this to come a bit lower, at least to 1750. That'll be the target. And then there'll be a possible buy opportunity there, which I'll be monitoring. So again, guys, just showing you this is gold. This is a very volatile market. There is a lot of profits available in just that movement down from where it's come from now. And as you can see, it's still starting to show some strength to the downside. That's the gold pairs. Okay, guys, so just a quick update on oil. I was watching this with a student yesterday. We had our area, the 64 mark last week, got hit into nicely and had a nice drop. So I was again kind of looking at the theme for this week, which was retest. Price was retesting a lot of areas. And yesterday it came towards this level. We was watching it. Me and a student started to talk about how it could just dip the liquidity, grab this area and then make a move down. It did that. It was quite a successful move on oil. That is quite a lot of money to be made in just that movement there. I'm now saying the trade's void. I'm writing this one off. It's become invalid. I didn't actually enter this. I was watching it. I didn't like the way price was moving. Me and my student kind of gave up on it, and I'm now kind of invalidating it for everybody. This area has now been blasted through, and I can't see where price is going to stop and be a sell from until it actually goes and maybe makes a new high above the 68. So that's just another one that it's not all successful. This isn't all glory. I'm showing you a trade here that you might have lost some money on if you did try to trade it. I'm now just saying that that trade's now invalid. Okay, guys, so just a quick update on the pound USD. What I was looking for was a push from the 137,600. So I was looking at buying from this level here. It looks a bit clearer on the 1 hour. If I just show you down there off that method down there. So price hasn't come there. It's actually moved from what I marked out in my video, which was this level here. And what I'm actually mentioning is I still believe it's that battle of the two positions. I still believe it's going to dip into that area maybe early next week around the 140,500 mark where I've got my blue box to the upside, maybe even towards the 141 level, which seems to be quite in line with that candle that I like. So what I'm suggesting is that price is going to hit this level eventually. That's where I'd be happy to become a seller. And I'm going to aim to just pretty much trade this range from here down to here. And as you can see, we've got almost a 500 pip range to play with. So this is going to be one of the main focuses that I'm going to do on my Sunday video. So again, just be sure to check that out on Sunday, where I'll be updating what has happened after obviously Friday's price action on the pound USD. Be sure to check that out on Sunday. Okay, so a quick update on the Euro USD, and this is actually getting towards action time. Very similar to the pound USD, and we're looking for price to just come that little bit higher, and then we're going to start to see the dollar strength, hopefully, obviously next week. 121,500 to 121,600. So just somewhere here off of this candle. I want to see what's going to happen off of this daily blue candle here. I want to try and actually catch price in the body. I want to see what's going to happen when price gets to that level, which is pretty much 121,650 to 700. And that's where I believe we can start to see a sell kick off. Now, Friday, the dollar is known for gaining strength. So make this one of your main focuses for tomorrow. This is going to be something that I'm going to be watching tomorrow and looking for that dollar strength in the afternoon around the New York session. Hopefully we can get a trade, and I can see maybe at least 100 pips, at least down to the 120,500, maybe even 195,500, so 200 pips. So again, keep an eye on these areas. That's the 121,500, 600 level. It can come to 122. The trade would still be valid at 122. It's still in this range, in this level. After that, 122,500, I'd start to say it becomes invalid. So what we're looking for is a big push down. I want to see something reject. I want to see where I know traders are being taken out from the market and seeing where the liquidity is being grabbed, and I'll go from there. So keep an eye on this on Friday. That's the Euro USD. Okay, guys, so here's one of the main focuses for the week. This was the pound CAD. I'm actually in this trade right now. I'm still holding on to my position. You can go back and check my previous videos. I've been harping on about this area for ages. Now, what I want to explain is I watched the market makers move away from this level. They've made it quite clear how they've moved away with the price action. What they did was just threaten to come back, but never actually tapped into what I know would be tapping their contract. So they haven't tapped it. They came back again, threatened to come to the area, didn't, threatened to come to the area again and didn't, and eventually comes down and makes a new low. This is where it will test your patience of believing in your setup. I've always said to myself, look, this is going to be a sell around that 175, 176 level. Can I be patient and wait for it? Now, eventually, price starts to shoot towards the level. I get my entry. And as you can see now, price has finally gone down and made a new low, lower than here, because it's now finally tapped its contract up here. So what I'm trying to explain to you is the market makers will not move down to a new level until they've done everything they need to do in a certain area. What I've become very good at is spotting what they need to do in certain areas. So again, guys, another good trade here. I'm pretty sure it's now well over 300 pips, approaching 400. So again, guys, there's another good trade for you there. That's the pound CAD. Okay, guys, just a quick update on the pound NZD. Again, another trade that hasn't actually hit our entry level yet. So this is something that you can take into Friday and then early next week. It's the pound NZD. I've been talking about the 191 level. We're at 192,700. So still quite a bit of space to go. There's still about 170 pips for it to drop. But I'm expecting it to just come down to this level, react where my blue box is, and then we're going to get a big push to the upside, maybe even a new high. So just keep an eye on this one. That's the pound NZD. Okay, guys, just another successful trade that was called out on the Sunday video. I won't harp on too much about it because I've actually made a personal video just about this trade. I just wanted to explain what I'm seeing, what's happening. So here we are on a daily picture, the daily time frame, and there's a bit of imbalance in this big black candle here. Now, what I know is the market makers try to hide their transactions in these candles. So what I'm going to do now is just come down the time frames, but I'm still looking in this area. But what I'm looking for is a scenario that I'm used to seeing, which I know the market makers possibly are at. Now, it's like a peg. I want you to think that they've just placed a peg into the market. So they're going to come and hit that peg and then drop again. Now, you still can't see it because there's no blue candle in this sea of black candles down. Well, as you get down to the 2-hour time frame, you start to see this lonesome blue candle in the middle of nowhere. And it starts to let me know that, okay, that could possibly be where the market makers are placing their positions, placing their contracts to get into the market. So as you can simply see, I called this trade around the 168 to 168, 300 level. And the beauty of this, right? The beauty of this trade is that it's dropped from this area. It's had a great move. It's around, let me just check. We had around 125 pip push to the downside. But what's beautiful about this is if you missed it, if you weren't sure about the trade, it came back to the same area. It pretty much did the same thing, playing off the same type of contract and what they do. And then we got the same drop, making actually more lows this time. So again, guys, if you're not sure about the trade, let it come back to your area. As long as it's still valid, as long as criteria is still met, the trade can be taken again. And as you can see now, I've got 2 positions on the EURNZD. So guys, make sure you watch that Sunday video. Okay, guys, so another one I've been harping on about for ages is the euro pound. It had actually a decent little push last week. It's now back in the same area, doing the retest again, kind of similar to what we just saw. If I just come down a time frame. So the 87 level is what I've been looking at. I've been looking to see if they're going to play off of this level here, which, as you can see, they have. Once they've had a nice drop, it came down around 100 pips. It's now back at the level, and I've actually got a few students that are trying to trade this at the moment. We're looking to see a drop from the 87 level. Okay, so as you can see right now, it's only at 86,800. It's only 20 pips away from the 87 mark. But what I've been looking at is the way price is building up in this area. It's something that I'm familiar with. It's something that I'm confident in, and I'm almost positive that this will drop again back down towards at least the 86 level. So again, guys, just keep an eye on this euro pound throughout the rest of the week, and of course early next week. Okay, guys, so the next one is the USD Swiss franc, and it's actually not even hit the area yet. So this one's still valid. It's going to be, again, something that is the main focus for Friday and early next week. It's the 0.90 to 0.90 500 level. I want to see price play off of this black candle here. This is the daily time frame, and just see if we're going to get a push maybe up to back to where the sales come from. So at least up to 94. That's a lot of pips. So just keep an eye on this one. As I kind of mentioned earlier in the video, the dollar on a Friday tends to have a lot of strength. It likes to have a move before the weekend closes. So let's see if the dollar's going to get that push tomorrow. Okay, guys, so here's the other side to trading. This is a trade that has lost. Okay, you would have lost money if you copied me on this trade. Not many mentors will do what I'm doing right now. Okay, so what I want to explain is I saw a scenario which I thought was going to be the move, and this is a common thing that happens in trading all the time. So I've seen a buy to sell scenario here where I'm expecting price to come back to and then have another drop. What it's done is kind of enticed traders in. It's kind of made people feel that this is going to be a sell from this area. And I've actually had a few students that are trying to trade it as well. And a couple have asked me questions about it. Now, what I want to explain is when I have an area like this, it will become invalid once I've seen price close above the area. This price action has still not closed above the area. Although a wick has come up and beat the area, grabbed the liquidity up there, the stop losses, the trade is still valid because the bodies haven't closed higher than that level yet. Until then, I would then validate the trade. So for now, it's still valid to be a sell around the 73, 72, 500 mark. Let's see what happens with that one. I'll be updating this one on the weekend. That's the NZD USD. Okay, guys, so just a quick update on the AUDJPY. This was a trade that, again, probably would have been lost by now. I was mentioning this area around the 84 mark, 84, 200, 400. It's still there, but it's gone 30 pips higher than the area. The trade's still valid, okay? It's still in this level. It's still possibly playing off of this scenario over here. So what I'm going to do now is kind of give it my last point of interest. So just looking at this now, what I'm going to say is around the 85, 300 to the 85 mark. That's where I'll be looking pretty much for tomorrow and early next week for the sell entry. So 85, 85, 300 on the AUDJPY. I want to see that get hit into and then start to see the sell come down that will hopefully make the new low, maybe down all the way towards the 83 mark. So keep an eye on that one. That's the AUDJPY. I had the last but not least was the EUROJPY. Now, this was a trade that I was talking about in quite a lot of detail, what I wanted to see. I was actually looking for this 129.350 to the 200 mark. It's gone from around the 600 level and pretty much gone. So that trade down there is now invalid. I'm not going to be looking at that buy anymore. We just missed the entry. So again, just showing you how this all works and how it played out. If we did catch on to that one, it would have been a very profitable move. As you can see, it's gone up around 275 pips. So just keep an eye on that one on the weekend. I'm going to update it and see if we can catch maybe a sell back down to the area. That's the EUROJPY. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. That's all for my Forex weekly review this week. Just a quick shout out to Absolutely Magazine again. Thank you for sponsoring the videos. Go check that magazine out. And if you like the sounds of this, if you like the sounds of what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button in the bottom right corner. Stay up to date with the channel. There's lots of exciting new content coming. You can keep an eye on the trades and hopefully make some investments for yourself. With that, I'll see you next week.